All right, we're live, baby. About time, huh? Having some trouble here with YouTube. We are good to go. So let's get to it. I gotta tell you, man, I'm excited to get started. All right. How we doing so far today? ATR sitting at 47. Still a very good ATR. Excited to see that. Let's get to work. Green so far, huh? Good work. All right, we'll see how bar 8 closes up. If the bears want to give me a nice clean bear body, I'll take it. Minute 20 out. All right. ATR sitting about 50 seconds. Come on, you bears. Again, if you're just joining us, if the bears can close up bar number 8 here, there's an NQ 5-minute chart. Nice and clean. Very little wick. Beneath that wick low of 7. Then I've got a 6, 7, 8. Probably about a B setup. All right, pop on over. 15 seconds out, copy trader. Engaged, come on bears. Oh, you bears. Better get ready, huh? All right, nothing on bar 8. Bar 9, what you got? Question here, when the ATR, meaning the average true range, that red number bottom right of your screen, that's the average range of a bar, right, in points. They say when the ATR is artificially low, how do you choose your target? What does that mean, first of all? Well, my ATR looks back 10 bars. So in the first 10 bars of the New York Open, that level is going to be a little artificially low, right? Because it's averaging in some pre-market bars. So first of all, it depends how early we are in the day. If I take bar 3, it's going to be more artificially low than if I take bar 9, right? So I consider that. But if I'm taking a trade very early and the signal bar is quite a bit more, like double or more, the ATR, which is artificially low, so I still take it. It's not outsized necessarily in that case. I'll oftentimes use the R value to help choose a target. But if the ATR is closer to the R value, and especially if I'm in kind of bar, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 territory, I start leaning toward more using the ATR if it makes sense, otherwise using R if I need to. 1R, which is, if you don't know, 1R is the amount of points at risk on that particular trade. So it's the size of the signal bar, effectively. Assuming it's a continuation trade. All right, 255 out. ATR hovering right about 49. I love to see that. Okay, minute 40 out here. Minute 30 from the close of bar 9. This, if it ends up being a bull body, it would be the first attempt. Well, it would be the first bull body in a new attempt of a sequence, right? So then I'd have to wait for 10. With 7 and 8, it makes me wonder if we're going to return up and head up toward the wick high of 2. But not ready for me to trade that yet. Yes, the current deal, we have a question here in the chat. The current deal at Apex, which is 80% off, it is also single day pass. So you use code BIG when you buy the account, BIG. It'll slice and dice 80% right off the top. And then you can pass in, you know, just to prove a point here to make you understand, you can pass it in one trade. Not that I would encourage you to try that. But if you pass the thing, if you put a trade on and the market pops and you pass it in 4 seconds, that's a pass. Again, not that you should try to do that. But to prove a point, yes, you can pass in 1 day, be funded by tomorrow with the current deal at Apex. All right, bar 9. All right, so we watched 10. Let's see how 10 can close up here. Big Joe, what's up, brother? How we doing? Well, you bulls. 315 out. Let's see if 10 can close as a, I would need it to be a small to moderate bull body, to be honest. If it starts getting too big, we're pressing a little too close to that 20 EMA, really. That's at the bottom of my list, right? Really, that 50% retracement zone. Two minutes. All right, my biggest concern right now, you know we see this sometimes. I would love if this doesn't happen. ATR is 48. Still very good. It's a very good ATR. Nico, when are we going to get the 100K payout Letterman jackets? No, but you know what I have been, what we're working on, what's going to be out there eventually is I want to, on the website, I want to make a page to serve as a self-reported storybook of traders who went full-time or quit their job, whatever that means to you. But we'll say are now trading full-time with RAM. Because that's the whole point. The whole point with RAM is to try to help as many people as possible work at home and spend more time with their families, right? Ideally making more money than they ever imagined and having more time with their family than they ever imagined, or more time to do whatever you want, you know? So we're going to get working on that here at some point. Because honestly, I knew there was a good amount, but there's more than I even realized who are trading RAM full-time already, which is crazy. Come on, Bulls, Bears, somebody break us out of this. Good, Bulls. Get us up out of there. 2 minutes, 10 seconds out. Coming up into that 20 EMA, we got that 50% retracement zone to think about as well. Right now, again, a little single bar sideways trading range down here at the lows is my number one concern. ATR actually coming up, though, continuously. 51 is the ATR, which is great. Now we got to get away from this little range, otherwise it's going to kill it. Bears try to smack you right back down into that little range. Could be problematic. I gotta think here. By the way, yesterday's big bet, it took until 8 o'clock Central this morning, 7:45 this morning. But you bulls, you won. So Bears, I apologize. You got nothing left. Bulls, congrats, big dogs. All right, 325 out here from the close of bar 12. All right, ATR dipping back below 50. That's okay. That's all right. We just got to get away from this, dude. Get away from this little range. Well, while we wait for this range to break, I should do my check-in. It's been a few weeks. Anybody in the chat recently had some kind of breakthrough or milestone in their fundeds? Well, sorry, in their trading in general. I know a lot of you guys are trading prop, obviously. Record amount of funded accounts. Funded for the first time, first payout, biggest payout, most consistent payouts. We want to hear about it. Don't be shy, big dog. Trev blowing less accounts. That's progress, man. Christian, first day over 10K yesterday. Good work. First funded. New fundeds, past evals. EV looking better than ever. Yeah. Good work, guys. Keeping track of the behavior more than the P&L. 100%. You have to brute force it to start. All right, well, we're 4.5 minutes out here from the close of bar 13. Dips submitted first Apex payout yesterday. A lot of you guys have experienced this by now. Well, I don't want to say a lot because it's going to make people feel bad about themselves if they haven't. But, straight up, that's the truth. A lot of people in the chat, man, since you first popped in, have experienced it, which is a very good thing. I love to see it. That first time that any amount of money, small, large, medium, hits your bank account from trading, I think it changes your psychology permanently. Go to the grocery store, you pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, you pay your insurance, you pay the phone bill. I don't care. You buy a big whatever. You spend money on something, regardless of what it is. Whether it's a bill or something fun, from money you made from trading, it changes the psychology of it, I think, at least a bit, permanently. And we need to permanently get away from this sideways trading range. Come on, Bears! Let's go take out the wick low of 8 and dump this thing. Head down to 25,000. Autumn says, I'm leaving day trading 0 DTE options to trade futures and stick to enforced rules. Hey, that's the biggest step. Listen, options they hold a very special place in my heart, but the side that gets talked about far less, which is net sell, because it has built-in edge. Those are very special to me. But as far as active intraday trading, as far as an instrument to choose, 0 DTE options versus futures, there is no comparison. There's no comparison. Futures are far better designed. They're designed to be trading instruments. Options, I know people like to think that they were designed to be trading instruments. They really weren't. They're leverage instruments. You know, they're kind of specialty instruments in a way. Futures are simple. I know they feel complicated if you don't know what you're looking at here. It's like, what the fuck? Why is it $25,000? It's not, I promise you, it's not as complicated as you think. You'll have all the verbiage down in a day. You'll understand the point values of NQ within, 20 minutes. It's fine. But this was a very simple, well-designed trading and hedging instrument. That's it, futures. You can't beat it. All right, 37 seconds out. All right, there's a rollover. Inside close, inside the wick low of 8, which is the low of day currently. Let's see what 14 brings. See if the bears can get something done here if the bulls pop it right back up into this single bar. Well, not so much single bar anymore, but basically sideways range. There you go, 14. 3.5 minutes out. 14 closes. Clean. Ideally a bit lower than that. Then I've got a present for the bears. All right, halfway through bar 14. We'll see how this closes up. "60 seconds. All right. I like that there's a minute left because I want to see if the bears can hold this thing downside and close it clean. So bar 14 will be the first bar closing outside the range, but it's well beneath the range. Technically, could still call it the early trade, but in this case, I'm willing to take the early trade. I want to participate. If the bulls will prove to me that I should be. All right. Ready? Pop on over. "15 seconds out. Copy trader. Engaged. Go ahead and get my stop limit sell ready. Place him. Beautiful. And give those bears about 25 seconds. See if they want to take it. ATR sitting about 49. 15 more seconds and they will take it. Beautiful bears. All right. Let's see if the bears got it in them. Well, it's not a bad start, but we got a whole lot more work to do there, bears. Let's keep that thing pushing. ATR 51. About halfway to target here. ATR jumping up, 53. Still need my full target out of this trade for it to make logical sense for me. $225 left here on bar 15. Still just halfway to target. Minute 12 left here on bar 15. I'll see if I have to move my stop. We'll see how the bears close it up. And if it closes before I hit. ATR 54. $25 seconds out, ATR still 54. All right, 190.75. Stop is moved. There's a new signal body, new signal bar, so I move my stop. And still need my full target. ATR now 50. Come on, Bears, take it through. Bears not getting it done here yet. See if they can take one more run at it. ATR now up to 52. Come on, Bears. You have me within 5 points. See if they can get the job done. All right, Bulls. It's about enough of that. You've had all you're gonna get. Bears! Take me down through. ATR 52. So that remains my target. We've got 55 seconds left here on bar 16. Oh, you Bears, you're so close. All right, there's the open of bar 17. Let's see. Big 17 can do it to him. ATR now 48. $49. Oh, you big baby bears. Yeah, I know we're right around yesterday's low. That's fine. If you look at every level on the chart, you'll never get anything done. All right, ATR 51. Come on, Bears. We've had about 4 shots now. 4 shots at it. Let's go. Take it down through. I don't even need that much more. Just a little pop through that wick low of 16. All right, ATR 51. There you go, Bears. Take it through. Boom! Full ATR. You guys see we got within 2 ticks at one point? Let that copy trader flatten. There it is, and we're flat. All right, 30 seconds till we close here at bar 17. Trade number 1. right, we'll watch 18, see how 18 closes up. Man, if you haven't yet, hit that like button. I appreciate you doing so. The ice is broken and we've got a nice trade under our belt, so let's see if bar 18 has got another one here. Let's see how it closes. All right, we're coming into 25,000. Let's see if we actually test this thing today. It looks like it might be on the table here. There we go, 18. All right. All right, coming right into 25,000. It's the first test, which means I got to see how big the signal bar ends up being if I get it at all. Which is this bar, 18, minute 37 out from closing. Let's see. It's getting close. I was kind of hoping for a small to moderate bear body. Well, let's take a peek here. It's getting too close. So you guys know I typically treat big S tier levels like 25,000 like this. I treat them like kind of weak stop hunts, which means we're so we're so damn close in comparison to the size of the signal bar. I was really hoping 18 would close like this, and then I have lots of room with little risk. So I gotta wait for 19. Let's see if 19 can put in kind of a duplicate of 18. I expect we'll probably hesitate at least a little around 25k, but let's see here. Obviously, that's way too close to 50-50 to take a trade. Yeah, so if 18 had been a much smaller bear body, again, risk would be the signal bar, which would be very small, then I take all the room down to the 25 test. This makes my risk a lot bigger, and I'm 5 points away from the test of 25, so I'm really betting on a hard break, which that's a tough bet to make with 60 points of risk, you know. So I gotta wait for 19 here, see. See this hesitation? Yeah, that's what I was worried about. All right, there's the breakthrough 25. Let's see if they can actually make something real of it. A lot of times they'll pop through and then retest. Let's see. $225 left here on bar 19. You know, not to be Monday morning quarterback, but you see this? It's exactly the concern on a trade like bar 18. You pop through 25, a couple of points, you retest it. There's probably going to be some indecision here around 25. I hope we don't get glued to it. So a huge move away quickly would be ideal. There you go, Bears. Keep that dumping. Wicking back to 25. Yep. 10 seconds out here from the close of 19. Yeah, it's gonna roll over here as a... Look at that. 2 ticks, couple ticks, whatever, away from 25. That is no coincidence. All right, so we watch bar 20. There you go, Bears. Now, I hate to kind of rub your nose in it if you have been a bull all day. But you see this 400-point dump since the open? This is why you don't blindly buy moves as a contrarian like this. I used to do it too. You're not the first one to have this idea. Every human who comes into the market is naturally a contrarian, at least 95% of us. And we all have the same thought. Oh, it's gone this far. We're going to get a curl back up to at least the midpoint, if not the highs, man. And if we don't, I'll just hold it, because eventually it will, right? You'll get blown up before it happens, and it might not even happen. Quickest way to shave years off of this is to stop doing that. Let the market tell you what to do. Do logical things based on, ideally, in my opinion, a price action methodology. Is, I think, the way to go. Alright, 90 seconds out from the close of bar 20. Bulls wicking it right back up. They're trying to take it back to 25, aren't they? All right, let's see 21. So 20 is going to be the first bar closing meaningfully beneath the S tier level of 25, okay? 25,000 here on NQ. So let's see how 21 can do here. All right. Bar 21. Come on, 21. Do it to them. See what they got. All right, so if bar 21 here can close nice and clean and not grow too much more, all of a sudden I've got a stop limit sell here for the bears in 90 seconds. All right. $22 seconds. Copy trader. Engaged. Let's see here. Go ahead and get my stop limit sell ready. Get him a little bit out of the way. I will have to place him, closing beneath the previous wick low, and let's see. I don't mind that at all. Relatively small signal body here. Let's see if the bears want it. Ooh, running away. Running away from me here. Give that about 10 more seconds. Oh my goodness! They took it. They took it at the very last second. Did you see that? All right. So I'm sitting short, man. Let's see. See what the bears got in them. All right, ATR sitting at 53. So, yeah, I'm going to target a full ATR here, which is a better than 1-to-1 reward to risk. So, we'll see if the bears can get that done. All right, well, see if the bears can take another run at it here. My target is pretty sizable compared to the risk on this trade. 53 points, at least right now, is 1 ATR. All right, I'm about halfway to target. There you go, bears. I don't mind that. Still plenty of work left. ATR 54. All right, 20 seconds left here on bar 22. We'll see if I have to adjust my stop. ATR still 54. All Alright, relatively sizable wick back here for the rollover, so if the bears want to take out that wick low within the first like 15 seconds, then I'll move my stop. Okay, they did, so I'll move my stop up. I'm multitasking. I'll have to take profit here relatively soon. ATR 52. Yeah, okay. Boom! Full ATR target. Jesus. Alright, that is 2 trades on stream. Which will leave me up my total P&L now for the session. On stream so far is like 16,000. My total for the session is 19,692. So another pretty good day here, back to back. You know, by the way, I get a lot of questions. If you are wondering, you know, you hang out here on the free live stream, you're gonna learn a lot, I promise you. If you're open to. I guess I can't force you. You can lead a horse to water, right? But the fastest, most complete way to learn RAM will always be the tomb. So if you're not inside, I encourage you to take a peek. First link in the description. But you know, if you're kind of a tourist in the trading world, at least so far, you're a bit newer, man, hang out here on stream. That's all you need. Alright. Everyone's losing their fucking minds over gold! Holy... Rightfully so! Oh my god. Could you imagine being long on gold? Overnight, you come into the office late. You're like, yeah, I probably didn't move much, huh? You open the chart. Jesus. Oh my goodness. We'll head back to NQ with our tail between our legs after looking at that gold chart, man. We got a beautiful chart here on NQ. Watching 23 close up here. See that? Hesitating with the wick low at 22. Bit of a wick on the bottom of 23. All right, wait on 24 here. By the way, if you're just joining us here, Take Profit Trader, which allows daily payouts on your profits, is 40% off, and you won't pay an activation fee if you use code BIG. You'll get both of those, 40% off the rip and no activation fee when you pass, which is $130 per account wiped off the planet, which is a beautiful thing. Well, who's having a big day? It's got to be a lot of you, huh? Anybody having like a record breaker of a day? Gains, big day. Cheryl, big day. News, big day. Good work, guys. All right, 2 minutes out here from the close of bar 24. Gains made up 16,000 yesterday, up 13,000 today. Good work. It's kind of a light haul there for gains, huh? Christian, big day. Good work, brother. Now I have a different question. This one's going to get fewer responses. We'll see who has the guts to put it out there. Was anybody long on gold? Or I'll say, was anybody trying to buy this move on NQ? Oh, goodness. All right, minute 13 out here from the close of 24. The chat here, AB, big day. Christian, 13,000 yesterday, 17K today. Jesus. Everyone's just robbing the market this week. It's ridiculous. All right, bit bigger bar here on NQ. Place that guy, see if I can get a fill. Just because the size of that bar, I'm going to give it less time to give me a fill. If it hesitates, I don't really want to participate. But give it about 20 total seconds here. That's plenty of time. Yeah, bears don't want it. No fill, no trade, man. It's alright. That's alright. Christian Big Dog says the tomb is worth it. Night and day difference. From before to after. Good job. We love to hear it. Well, Bears finally taking out the wick low of 24. They took their time to do it. That's a little insecurity out of the Bears after a bar like 24. Probably one of the most sizable, well, yeah, one of the most sizable bars in this whole move since bar 13. Alright, I'll tell you what, I'll be right back, man. We're having a pretty good day here. I don't want to say a monster day, pretty good day, up 19,692. We'll call it a monster day. That's stupid not to. That's a good day, man. All right, back in a couple minutes. Don't you go anywhere. What's up? Welcome back. All right, 333 out here from the close of bar 27. Let's see what we get. Did I get anybody? I don't know what you guys are going to learn, man. You control your volume setting. Oh, man. 3 minutes. Now, worth noting here with RAM, I'm always telling the Tomb that when you see a big move like this, when it's so aggressive, I'm going to wait for 3 bars, and then you'll oftentimes run into the issue of the 20 EMA. So a reversal trade out of a giant push like this, usually you kind of have to thread the needle, if not wait a bit longer to get the actual reversal trade. If you wanted to take the really, really early variation, you could get long on the close of 26. That would be a logical thing to do. But you got to understand that probability on it is not great. It's not. It gets better waiting for the 3rd bar in that sequence. Man, what a day. What a day here so far. I mean, it only took... What's interesting is this whole move. I only caught 2 trades. Which, looking back on this, it's like you probably get quite a bit more than 2 trades. I only got 2. I got no fill, no trade on a couple. At least 2, maybe 3, I forget. I don't remember. But, like, I mean, it only took 2 trades to have a good day. All right, what's YM doing? Yeah, some risk here of a sideways range on the Dow. Gold. Trying to recover. Giving the bulls here a glimmer of hope. Oh, man. We'll head back to NQ. All right, let's see if these bears can go down and take out the wick low of 25. Now, we know the risk here, right? The risk is typically when you get a huge push. First of all, again, you don't want to be getting long on this until you get a clear, logical reversal trade. But when you get a big push like this, you don't know when it's going to end. This could be a temporary range, then another dump, or usually after a move like this, what do you normally see before you just see a huge V-shaped recovery? Normally it looks a little more like a U, right? Before you recover after a big trend, you normally see a sideways range and then the recovery. But probability of direction during the range is still 50-50 if it ranges at all. So, you got to be careful. We're a minute 10 out here from the close of 28. Ooh, do I remember my first big day? Trading careers are a little messier than that. But the reality of, like, your first big day, it's hard, because it depends on, did you pick a lane, and you started with that lane, and you never did anything else, and you went straight through that lane, like intraday trading futures, right? That wasn't how mine went, right? You guys know the first thing ever that let me go full-time trading was net sell option strategies in a good market. So, meaning a volatile market. So I was able to make a good amount doing that. Now, I don't remember the first day, but I remember around the time when I started to realize that I was making consistently, like, more than enough to live off of doing that, which was crazy to me. But actual day trading, honestly, I mean, because this was personal account. you know, back in my day kind of shit. You know, the opportunity of prop, it wasn't like that wasn't really like a thing. At least it wasn't really talked about like it is now. So, unless you wanted to go trade brick and mortar prop shop. This wasn't that long ago, by the way. So, like, you know, 9 years ago, 8, 9 years ago. So, in a personal account, I remember like I probably felt better the first day I ever did like $100 than I did on like my first 10K day. You know how like with the first, it's like comparing it to the first time you ever look in your bank account and the first time you ever have like 5 figures, or the first time you ever hit 100,000 in your bank account. You're gonna feel way richer in that moment, especially like the 10,000. You know, I remember like the first time I had over like, you know, like $4,000 in my bank account, and I felt like the pressure was kind of off. The expenses were low back then. But it's like, man, I could really mess up for like months and still be like, all right. And that's really different because when you're going from 0, that's like an infinite increase. From like 0 or very little to like a few thousand, $5,000 or $10,000. You know, 10,000 is a big one. But when you start making bigger dollar amount increases, it's a lower X multiplier from where you started to where you went, right? So once like the basic needs are met, like you can pay your bills, you can buy like food, like the food that you want to buy. You know, the rest is kind of just bullshit. As far as like, does it make you feel better than that initial jump? Because I think you'll feel the richest on that initial jump when you go from being extraordinarily stressed out about money to feeling okay and feeling like you have some time and the pressure's off a little bit. I think you'll feel richer in that moment and you'll look back on it fondly. You might not realize it at the time than you will when you have a lot more actual money, because it's such a big X multiplier from where you started emotionally, psychologically. All right, 345 out here from the close of bar 30. Man, do we just enter a big sideways range down here? ATR sitting 53. Not a bad ATR. That's still a very good ATR this time of day. Oh, yeah. I think I'm of the opinion. I mean, listen, this is sort of unrelated, but it comes into the conversation. I tend to be a logical optimist when it comes to the way that AI is moving with medical use. And I think that there's something to the fact that most people here right now, if you take reasonable care of yourself, you're gonna live longer, most likely, than you expect. Okay, because this is... the compounding effects of all this is ridiculous. It's gonna move faster than you think in the next, I don't know, 15 years. So these next 15, 20 years are really, really important to just try to stay healthy, right? So, but I think that too many people, they, what's the word? They undershoot the age in which they think is going to be their prime, and that's in all ways. You know, take your pick. Financially, mentally, psychologically, physically, all ways. I mean, your 20s, dude, come on. I think the conversation for, like, your prime, for everybody, like, I don't even think it starts until we're talking, like, 40. I gotta be honest. Like, we're not even close. Well, at least if you're under, 35. I don't think you're even close. Look at this. Look at this. Single bar range. ATR holding up. 53. All right, 250 out here from the close of bar 31. You know, it's interesting to see volatility holding up. If this continues for any further length of time, that ATR is going to dump off a cliff down below 50, probably below 40. So let's get away from this sideways range. Yeah, look at this. And what we say, after you get a big move like this, it's really common. It's really common to eventually settle into a range. But you do have to be careful. A lot of people would look at this and they'd call it something. You know, like a unicorn pattern or whatever the fuck. This is 50-50. At this point, direction here, it's 50-50. You've got to let it break. You've got to let it pick and go. This is a single bar sideways trading range. Don't forget context. Well, Bulls, Bears, come on now. All right, guys. Well, you know what? It's a good stream. 2 trades here on stream. I'm sitting up on the session 19,692 and 40 cents. So, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go hit lunch. We will see what the afternoon brings. Hey, remember, this is a single bar sideways range. No matter how you look at it, that's what this is right now. So, keep it contextual. Chill out a little bit, wait for it to come to you, and don't necessarily blow up your day in a 50-50 environment. I know a lot of you guys are having tremendous days. This was a great environment. This needs work. All right, guys, leave a like on the way out. I'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye. Have a good afternoon, man.